What's up, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Finster, Prinster, SoundCloud, SoundClick, Aquarius, and All Point Army. Well, military. Let's do that. I was listening to Don Shipley. Shout outs to Don Shipley, and he's the guy who pretty much goes around. He's like a stolen valor guy, but he does it only for the Navy SEALs because only so many people have been in the Navy SEALs. And there is a listing of who's been in. And he's a retired Master Chief. So this dude doesn't play around. He takes it very seriously. Some of his guys, Navy SEALs, they're top of the line. Some of his guys, didn't make it and or are already passed away. So he's real touchy about it, and he should be. Big ups to you. I never tried to be in the SEALs. I was never in the Navy. I didn't retire from the service, but I was in the service. And I, like everyone, admire somebody who has been a SEAL because their training is really, really hard for what little we know. Now, unless you've been in the BUDS programs, you really don't know. But every time a Navy SEAL program has been depicted on Hollywood or whatever, it's been like, you got to really be that deal to go through it. So, like I said, big ups, Don Shipley. You do your thing, man. Go get those guys, because I don't understand their psyche and why they would claim to be a Navy SEAL and they're not. And I've been in service. I was in the Army during Desert Storm, but I didn't go over the water. And I make sure I tell people I was stateside. And I was only in till 91. The war started in 91, so I was only in for a short while. Nonetheless, I'm a Desert Storm veteran who's never been to Desert Storm. So I don't make no false claims and steal nobody's valor, because some of my friends went over the water, and I didn't see or hear from them until 20 years later. And I was glad they made it back. So, like I said, I was only in until 91, but I was in the Army. I went to Europe, and I was a cook, in 94B, and, I didn't do anything heroic. So I can't make none of those claims, and I wouldn't try to, because here's what I know. Whether you're a Navy SEAL, whether you're in the Army, Navy, Air Force, or Marines, you can get called on at any time. And when you do, whether you're a cook, whether you're in armory, whether you're in any kind of weapons division, whatever it is, you can get called on, and you have to leave your family right now. Yeah, you got to go. And there's no guarantee any of you make it back. General, colonel, whoever, whether you're flying whether you're flying a Aviator jump jet or F-14 or whatever, people don't always come back. And when you get people who clown around and glorify that they were in the service and did all this heroic stuff, when they have all these badges that is just like what? Come on, man. Like, there are guys who've been to 2 or 3 tours. They've done a couple tours. They deserve those badges. You know what I'm saying? So I give big ups to them. Now, I tried to go across the water. I was just in a unit that stayed stateside. I ended up in Fort Riley, Kansas, and that's where I ETS'd. So when I came from Germany, I was pretty much short. I was only in for 3 years. So I stayed there for a year, and then I got out. But nonetheless, like I said, these stolen valor guys on every level walking around with these Army outfits, it just pisses me off. But it doesn't, I'm not going to walk up to a dude wearing a uniform and be like, yo, did you ever serve? Where did you serve? Some of my buddies died. I'm not going to do that. And I made a video talking about stolen valor before. But the more I watch, the more I understand why people get upset. Because people have gone on missions and they have seen their buddies get blown the hell up. I never did that. And if I did that, I would go to somebody and be like, yo, where did you serve? Like, you know, you're a homie. Like, what's up? Now, on the flip side of that, a lot of people who've been in the service, we get perks. We do. And, you know, it can be anywhere from free food to help with your housing to help buy a house. We get all that, help fix your car. I mean, we get perks. And some of the perks, like, you don't even know about, help getting military, help getting civilian jobs, unless you got a record. If you got a record, then they're not trying to hear from you. But if your record is clean and all that, then yeah, I mean, if you don't got no felonies or anything, nothing, you know, I mean, you're good. You're going to be in there. But if you do, then you know, government job is they're not going to take you, to my knowledge. But we get a lot of perks, and this is what these people are trying to do. They're trying to make people feel sorry for them. I don't wear an army jacket or an army hat and walk around trying to beg for money. I can, because I was a military veteran, and I don't have a lot of money. I can do that. But I don't, because I would rather try to find a way to earn my money. Now, I get that, why veterans are getting upset at that. I understand that 100%. Like, you never went through boot camp of any type, whether it was the easiest or the hardest. You never saw boot camp. You never had people yelling at you. You never was out there in the rain. You never went on bivouac in the cold in New Jersey. Like, I did that. You know what I'm saying? But I didn't do it for the pride to come back and say, ooh, I did this. I did it because I wanted to serve my country. And more or less, I wanted to help my family. That's really why I went in. And I found that was a good way to do it. Plus, I wanted the educational benefits. Now, yes, I do go to school. So there are a lot of benefits that we get. And education is one of them. And that's the reason why I went in. I wasn't doing anything. I had some letters to go to college because I was half decent at football. But I didn't follow up on none of those letters because I didn't really want to play football. I mean, truth be known, I was not bad at track. I used to run the mile in under 5 minutes. And that's the 1600 and the 1500. I ran the 1500 like 4:35, 4:26. I ran a mile in 4:35. I ran the 1500 in 4:26 or something like that. So I wasn't half bad. And plus I could swim fast, not long. I could run long distance. I could swim short distance pretty quick. But I wasn't interested in football. But nonetheless, so instead of taking those letters to go to college, I went ahead and, you know, I got on a plane and went to New Jersey, Fort Dix. And then I got on another plane and went across the water to Germany, Darmstadt, which is about 20 minutes from Frankfurt. I was in 32nd ADCOM AAD. I was at Food Service 94B. And then after that, I went to, like I said, I went to Fort Riley, Kansas. And that's where I got out. So I get the stolen valor. I understand it. I understand why people are doing it. I think some of y'all take it a little too far, because when you start threatening people, that's a whole nother level. However, I think Don Shipley does it the best, because he doesn't threaten to kick your face in like a lot of these dudes are doing, chasing people down the street. Take off them clothes. You take off my uniform. And he got guys running down the street half naked. I mean, it's not funny, but it's funny when you see it. It's like, this dude is going crazy. But I think Don does it the best, because he just exposes you. And when you're exposed, see, people are trying to use those, you know, I was a Navy SEAL, or I was in the Army for this, or I was in the Navy and Marines for this. You can't do that and get benefits of some type, and then we find out that you're not real, because you're just gonna get exposed. So my whole point of this videos was to thank Don for what he's doing. Like I said, I didn't go through anything like he has, and I'm humbled by anybody who's been on that level of commitment to the United States and to the military, because Navy SEALs go through it. And big ups to you, big homie. Keep doing your thing. And yo, I love your videos. And the wife is just too funny. And she was in the service too, so big ups to her. Like, I just thank y'all for doing y'all thing, and you know, God bless you and keep doing your thing. I love your videos. It's your boy Tom 202. I'm out.